My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride, from every mountainside, let freedom reign. When we've been there 10,000 years, bright shiny as the sun, we've no less days to sing God's praise than when we first begun. Praise God from whom all blessings flow. Praise Him, all creatures here below. Praise Him above the heavenly hosts. Praise Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. Amen. Oh, I think we're ready to try the big one now. If you stand up, you'll be able to sing with more conviction. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose bright stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets fed there, the bombs were singing air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home fools rushing, but I can't help falling in love with you. Shall I stay? Would
the sea. Darling, so it goes. Some things are meant to be. Take my hand, take my whole life too.
You know this song, Josh?
For I can't live falling in love with you.
If you're gonna play weddings, you gotta learn this song. Like the river flows surely
To the sea,
darling,
so it goes. Some things are meant to be.
let's have some of the audience here.
Way down in the barrio, it's something that we all know. Bullets are flying and people are dying, reasons they don't even know. Down in the barrio, down in the barrio, down in the barrio, down in the barrio. Well, people say our world is a prison only we create. The cycle of suffering is senseless. This is the chain we must break. Down in the barrio, down in the barrio, down in the barrio, down in the barrio. Woo!
Make some noise, Austin, Texas!
But they shot and bleeding, mother wearing black as she grieves. If we could all just join together to unite and fight for peace. Down in the barrio, down in the barrio, down in the barrio.
Texmaniacs on our show. That's Baca, Max Baca. All right. When God created woman, he gave her not 2 breasts but 3. But the middle one got in the way, so God performed surgery. Woman came before God with the middle breast in her hand. She said, what shall we do with the useless boob? And God created man. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Tommy, he went to confession. He said, forgive me, for I have sinned. Father Murphy said, with whom? Was it Megan or Marilyn? Tommy just sat there. And Father Murphy said, or was it Megan or Marilyn? Or was it Fiona, Kathy, or Kelly? Tommy just rattled his beads. The priest gave him 4 Our Fathers and also 5 good leads. A man walked by the insane asylum. They were shouting 21, 21. So he walked up to look through a hole in the fence. Sounded like they were having fun. He put his eye to a hole in the fence to see what crazy people do. They poked him in the eye with a sharp stick and yelled 22, 22. Oh, it's such a pleasure to be here in Austin, Texas. So green, so beautiful. Here on this gorgeous campus. And it's a pleasure, and we have a good show for you today. Mr. Joe Ely is here from right down the road in Dripping Springs. And we'll do a little radio drama for you, the lives of the Cowboys, and a couple little pieces about Texas. And not that we know anything about it, but ignorance has always been our best friend over the years. And people forgive us on account of that. It's a live show. We go on the air here in 10 seconds. So if you're going to cough, just do it right now. And go right ahead. And then we're straight through until 6:58:40.
From American Public Media.
I hear that old piano from down the avenue. I look around here, I smell the barbecue. Oh, my sweet, sweet, sweet someone coming through that door. It's Saturday and the band is playing. Honey, could we ask for more? Whoa, 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 whoa. Coming to you live from the Bass Concert Hall on the campus of the University of Texas in Austin, Texas. A live broadcast of a Prairie Home Companion, presented by American Public Media and produced by Prairie Home Productions. With Mr. Rich Dworsky here at the keyboard, our music director, and our fine band with us today. Mr. Chris Siebold playing guitar, Richard Kriehn playing the mandolin and the fiddle. Our special guest, Heather Masse, come to sing for you today. And our radio acting company with Tim Russell, Fred Newman doing the sound effects, and Margaret Ann Hoard with us today. A wonderful singer from down the road, not too far away, originally from Lubbock, Texas, Mr. Joe Ely is with us today. And playing some conjunto music, some Texmaniacs music, Max Baca and Los Texmaniacs are here from San Antonio. Tonight's show brought to you by Viking River Cruises, exploring the world in comfort, offering European cruises on Viking longships. More at vrc.com/radio. And by Lumosity.com, brain training developed by scientists to challenge memory and problem solving through online games. Lumosity.com. And why do I need a script to read that? I should know that by heart. with all the brain training I've had. And by Staples, offering tools for small business, including color copies and presentations, manuals and customized framing, designed and printed in-store or ordered online at staples.com. Staples, make more happen. Don't go out and get color copies right now. Just wait until the show is over. We have a good show for you today. Austin, Texas, so cool, so green, beautiful after a week of rain. Such a pleasure to be here with you. Well, I've been so long in the music biz, I'm not sure what town this is. I've been on the road since Willie Nelson was young. From the Catskills to the Cascades, from Canada to the Everglades, there isn't a joint or dive where I haven't sung. I discovered Johnny Cash back when he wore a thin mustache and sang in the chorus of the Metropolitan Opera. We were on tour, Buddy Holly and I. He said after the show, "You want to fly?" I said no, so he gave my seat to the Big Bopper. Ever since the day I staggered into a bar, I knew Miller Haggard and gave him that line, "We don't smoke marijuana." And afterward, just as a joke, we sat down and had us a smoke with Mother Maybelle Carter and Madonna. Now me and my friend, the late George Jones, we discovered the Rolling Stones in a club where we were hours late arriving. Battery died, we needed a push, and who should stop but George Bush, back when he was dating Molly Ivins. I first met Lyle Lovett in a drugstore. He lived up above it back when his career first got underway. He and Janis Joplin were in a band with Robert Earl Keen and Townes Van Zandt and Stevie Ray Vaughan, Ray Benson, and Beyonce. I played for drinks, I played for free, I played for crowds of 2 or 3. I've been booed, been insulted, I've been fired. And after doing the best that I can, all I got is this old Dodge van with a bad carburetor, so I'm semi-retired. But I love Texas, that's for sure, so I put it on my farewell tour, and tonight I'm glad to be here in Bass Hall. Always was my fondest wish to play in a hall named for a fish, and then I'll be headed back to St. Paul. Now one song I say for Austin, I couldn't sing it up in Boston or LA in some high-toned club. Couldn't sing it in Manhattan, they'd laugh if I put that in, but here it is, folks. Here's a song by the great Ernest Tubb, and join us, won't you? You know this song.
When we dance together, my world's in disguise. It's a fairyland tale that's come true. And when you look at me with those stars in your eyes, I could waltz across Texas with you. Waltz across Texas with you in my arms. Waltz across Texas with you. Like a storybook ending, I'm lost in your charms. I could waltz across Texas with you. My heartaches and troubles are just up and gone the moment that you came in view. And with your hand in mine, dear, I dance on and waltz across Texas with you. Waltz across Texas with you in my arms. Waltz across Texas with you. Like a storybook ending, I'm lost in your charms. I could waltz across Texas with you.
yo soy mexicano, por destino soy americano. Yo soy de la raza de oro, yo soy mexicoamericano. Yo te comprendo el inglés, también te hablo el castellano. Yo soy de la raza noble, yo soy mexicoamericano. Zacatecas a Minnesota, de Tijuana a Nueva York, los países son mi tierra, los defiendo con honor. Dos idiomas y dos países, dos culturas tengo yo. En mi suerte tengo orgullo, porque así lo manda Dios. Por mi madre yo soy mexicano, por destino soy americano. Yo soy de la raza de oro, yo soy mexicoamericano.
Max Baca, Los Texmaniacs. Josh Baca out of control there at the squeeze box. They'll be back in a little bit. I shall come to you from Texas. Ladies and gentlemen, Lubbock is in the house. Lubbock is in the house. Mr. Joe Ely.
Southern eyes at me, especially when the moon is high, shining in those starry eyes. The night is way too dark for me to see. Don't roll those southern eyes at me. Don't roll those southern eyes at me. Never on a hardwood floor, looking out of them swinging doors. Where no man treads is where I want to be. Don't roll those southern eyes at me. 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 You might stir up a hurricane, pounding on my window pane. Where no man treads is where I want to be. Don't roll those southern eyes at me. Those secret looks are dangerous. Lips too red for me to trust. They might just knock me off my feet. Don't roll those southern eyes at me. Don't roll those southern eyes at me. Don't roll those southern eyes at me.
Hey, Joe Ely here, Robbie Dresel. Joe Ely, Max Baca. Oh, it's so good to be here in Austin. We just came down from Minnesota, down Interstate 35, connects our two states. People back where I come from still in grief and disbelief for the loss of that young man in our midst who we were so proud of. He grew up in our midst, and we considered him one of us, even though there were periods of his career when he was dancing around in very tiny underwear in public and singing gaudy songs and wearing those outfits, my gosh, and doing his hair up a dozen ways from Sunday. But he believed, and I'm sure he knew what was right. He believed that you have to be noticed in order to be heard, and so he certainly was heard. He was from the north side of Minneapolis. He grew up there, and he was one of us because he came up through the clubs. He played thousands and thousands of hours in little clubs where people go to dance, and that's where he learned his instruments, and he discovered his gifts, and he invented his unique show. And when he got to the top, he was amazingly generous with his gifts. He was a very private man. He was a devout man who could be sensational at the same time up on a stage. And you didn't have to own all of his records to be aware of that. If you only saw one, if you only saw that Super Bowl performance that he did at halftime with a heavy rain falling, and he was on an outdoor stage, it was very slippery, and the producers called him before the show and they said, "You know it's raining," and he said, "Can you make it rain harder?" And that was where he showed he was a true Minnesotan at heart. He was absolutely unforgettable that night. He improvised like crazy doing his midtime show in front of 100 million people on TV, and 100,000 people there in the stadium who he made ecstatic to get wet along with him. You just saw the spirit of the man and see where he took it. So we honor him as we all do. Mm-hmm.
One bright morning, through an open door, he flew away to a home on God's celestial shore. He flew away. He flew away. Oh, he flew away. There will be an answer. Let it be, oh, let it be. Just a little while to stay. Just a little while to wait. just a little while to labor in the path that's always straight. Oh, just a little more of sorrow in this low and sinful state. Then we'll enter heaven's portals, sweeping through those pearly gates, sweeping through those pearly gates. I look at the world and I notice it's turning while my guitar gently weeps. Every mistake we must surely be learning. Still my guitar gently weeps. Purple rain, purple rain. Purple rain, purple rain. Purple rain, purple rain. I only want to see you bathing in the purple rain. Yes, I only want to see you bathing in the purple rain. I only want to see you bathing in the purple rain. One bright morning, when this life is o'er, I'll fly away to a home on God's celestial shore. I'll fly away. Oh, I'll fly away.
The Lives of the Cowboys, brought to you by Lubbock Brand Lube in a Tube. It gets windy in West Texas, and you're gonna want more than hairspray. Otherwise, the wind can blow that bouffant right off of you. Lots of old people out there who'll tell you they wish they'd use Lubbock Lube in a Tube. Keeps your hair nice and tight.
Oh, yeah.
tell you, this does not look right at all,
No,
partner.
sure does not. Check your map there, Dusty.
Well, I don't have one.
What?
It blew away yesterday.
You know something? I think that GPS lady has misled us yet once more.
Yep.
GPS just does not take into account some parts of Texas. It's too big, I guess.
That's right.
And this sure does not look like Austin, Texas to me.
It does
I see
not. No,
no
sir.
Capitol Dome up there. I see no street of music clubs. I see no statue of Jefferson Davis. All I see is just a fuel tank and a saloon and a man who's been standing very still for a long period of time there.
Yeah. Hey, you.
Yeah,
Hey, you.
me?
Yeah. We're looking for Austin, Texas.
Well, it's not looking for you.
What does that mean?
You're all filthy and windblown, and Austin redid itself, and it's a place of glamour and fashion
Oh,
now.
come on.
Yeah.
No place that has a state legislature can be called glamorous, sir. I don't think so. Huh?
Well, the other part of it is, and
Oh.
they wouldn't want you.
So where are we then?
Oh, well, let's see, you're in the town of Lawston.
Lawston.
Lawston, Oklahoma.
Whoa. Well, I'll be danged. How do we ever make that mistake?
Well, that's what we're all asking you.
Uh-huh. Well, let's go into the saloon here.
Yeah, let's do that.
Get us a beer.
Yeah, well, thank you for all that information there,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah, there's more, but that's
Appreciate that.
enough for now.
All right.
What's he mean by that, I wonder?
You two gentlemen look like you could use a bath, and if you were planning to do it in my washroom, I would seriously discourage it.
Oh.
Meanwhile, what can I bring you to drink?
Now,
You have a cold beer on tap?
Depends on what you mean by cold, but yes.
What kind of beer?
Regular beer, normal beer.
Yeah.
If you're looking for the micro brews with the bouquet of caramel and chrysanthemums, we don't have that here.
Oh, I see.
If that's what you want, I can get you a caramel and a chrysanthemum, and you can stick one up one nostril and one up the other.
excuse me.
Now we'll have two of the regular ones, thank you.
Mind if I see some money first?
Yeah, money. I think I got something here. Here we go. There you are.
Okay, that'll do. 2 beers coming up.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
I see by your guitar that you're a singer-songwriter type.
Yes, I am, sir. Yes, sir. That's why we're heading for Austin to sell my song to a record company and put it out there on the radio.
On the radio, yeah.
Yeah, so I know that you'd like to hear it, and so why go through the formalities here? I
would. All right.
Just play some for you. Boy, gosh, that guitar is in tune. That's amazing.
That is amazing.
Having ridden all those miles through the dust storm and all of that, the earthquakes. A horse and a dog, a gun, a guitar, and Old Glory. That's all you need to be happy in Texas. A horse and a dog, a gun, a guitar, and Old Glory. And maybe a member of one of the opposite sexes. And we don't care if a woman comes in the John. We'll help her with the urinal. It's not easy to climb up on. A dog and a pickup, a rifle, Old Glory, and whiskey. That's all you need here in the Lone Star State. A pickup, a dog, a rifle, a flag, and some bourbon. And a girl with a 10-button sweater who can only fascinate.
That is the worst dad blame song I ever heard in my life, and I have heard some Lulus.
I'm sorry.
If you wrote that when you were drunk, then you need to change your brand of whiskey.
Well, I don't know.
Your music ought to be downloaded with a shovel.
Oh, please. Not that bad.
Here's your beer,
Thank
mister.
you.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Listen, you got an opener there?
Well, I just use my teeth.
Look.
Well, isn't that something?
Wow, that's impressive.
Never saw that done
There
before.
you go.
I appreciate your critical opinion.
I got a lot more of them.
Well, I'm sure, yes. But I am sticking to my faith that when I get to Austin, my ship is going to come in.
The only ship coming for you is hardship.
Well, when you got music in you, you got to get it out, you know?
Yeah, and I got a splinter I got to get out. That don't mean I'm going to make you watch.
Well, Music is different, though.
Oh, yeah, tell me about it.
What?
I used to have a boyfriend who wrote songs.
Boy, I have heard that line so many times. I used to have a boyfriend who wrote songs.
Yep.
You could write a song about that, couldn't you?
I did already.
Oh, you did, huh?
I used to have a boyfriend who wrote songs, and when he wrote one about me, he said I was the moon and the stars except brighter, and I thought, if I'm so good, why do I live with a writer? So I started up a nice romance with a boy named Lance, who owns a ranch.
Huh. Not bad. It rhymed and everything, mostly. Well, good luck with that.
Come on, get up. Come on, get up. Yeah, there we go.
Well, I guess we're headed for Austin now.
Yeah.
Should be there in a week or so.
Yeah, I reckon that you're kind of sore at me for running off with that dance hall floozy, ain't you?
No.
Oh, no. You're sore at me.
No.
I can tell.
Not sore at all.
Yeah, well, anyway, nothing happened, so you don't need to be any
That's
envious.
not a problem.
No, nothing happened. No, I unzipped her dress, and I thought we were going to get down to business. But then she started writing about it in her journal.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And I must have fallen asleep there, because when I woke up, she'd written a book of short essays on the concept of being with me.
Uh-huh.
Meanwhile, the person of me hadn't
Yes.
even taken his boots off, so
Right.
there you go. Nothing happened.
That's the problem with falling in love with educated people, you know. It's
Huh?
just they prefer to look at things from a distance, you know,
Oh,
to
right.
get that perspective. They
Yeah, you're right.
don't want to
there.
get confused, and what else is love but confusion? Huh?
Very, very, very good. Yeah. Anyway, what are we going to do in Austin?
Well, I'm going to sell that song of mine, and we're going to get out of the cowboy business. I'm just too old for this, Dusty.
Ah, see.
Huh?
Yeah. And what if we don't sell it?
Well, then we'll just keep on riding down the trail of ignorance. That's all. Just-
Yep.
It's like Will Rogers said, nobody's smart. We're all ignorant, just ignorant about different things.
Yeah. Hey, he was from Oklahoma, I believe.
He thought so too, yes.
Yeah.
The Lives of the Cowboys, brought to you by Lubbock Lubbock.
This first half hour of our show brought to you by Powder Milk Biscuits in the big blue box with a picture of the biscuit on the cover. Heavens, they're tasty and expeditious, made from whole wheat, raised by Norwegian bachelor farmers. So you know they're not only good for you, they're also pure mostly. Give shy persons the strength to get up and do what needs to be done. Has your family tried 'em powder mill? Has your family tried 'em powder mill? Well, if your family's tried 'em all, you know you're satisfied 'em. They're real hot item powder milk. Woo, 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 woo. Max Baca and Los Texmaniacs. Mr. Joe Ely with us on the show. We are in sunny Austin, Texas, here on the campus of the University of Texas, Austin. 51,000 students, 3,000 faculty here, and this is where the eyes of Texas are upon you, and so the students know this, and they are unfailingly polite and friendly, we have discovered by walking around campus the last couple of days. They're kind to strangers, and even when they get out of control on Friday night, they usually do it at a distance, and when they do it, they do it thoughtfully, and they're very considerate about it. So that's our report on that. The inscription on the main building, this is the new main building, the old main building was torn down some time ago, is "Ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free from Scripture, in case you didn't know that. And this university is dedicated to discovering the truth. They ranked 25 worldwide, 25th in scientific research. It's just an amazing thing. The Dell Computer Corporation started in a dorm room where Michael Dell was living when he was 19 here at the university, famous for its sciences and for the arts as well, for its libraries, fabulous libraries, the great collections in Latin American studies and marine science, the classics, one of the biggest collections in the classics anywhere in the country, life science and fine arts and physics, mathematics, and astronomy. Right next to this concert hall is the LBJ Library, which will be holding this next week a 2.5-day seminar on Vietnam with no holds barred. They'll have Vietnam vets and anti-war people and government officials, journalists. John Kerry is going to come, and LBJ's 2 daughters will be there, and Senator Bob Kerry, Dan Rather, Henry Kissinger, a whole mess of people. It's not to be missed. I'm sure there's a way for you to watch it online somehow. In the Harry Ransom Center here on campus, there is a rare copy of the Gutenberg Bible, one of only 49 in existence, the first book that was printed with movable type, which put a lot of monks out of business. They probably hated it at the time. Where is the craftsmanship? You know, where is the artistry? But it took knowledge which had been closely held by the privileged and disseminated it to all who were curious. So you can go look at that if you should come here. You walk along the beautiful mall under these shade trees, under the oaks, the live oaks, and are there dead oaks? I don't know. And the black walnut trees out there, cypress tree, and you come to the Statue of Victory holding torches there, and with the inscription in Latin, which is the reason why they have a classics program, so that somebody can translate that for them, which I do not know. But a rough translation of the inscription would be our life on earth is brief, but when we remember deeds that were done in a great cause, they live on forever. Something like that. I forget. Good to be here. I wonder if they have a blues collection, Heather Masse. I'm sure that they do somewhere in their fine arts program. They probably have the world's largest collection of blues manuscripts printed on envelopes and napkins. And you probably find this song there in a library here.
Maybe. Woman, be wise, keep your mouth shut, don't advertise your man. Don't never sit around gossiping, explaining what your good man can do. 'Cause there's women nowadays, love, they ain't no good. They laugh in your face and try to steal your man from you. You got to be wise, keep your mouth shut, don't advertise your man. Well, my best girlfriend, she might look like a highbrow. I've seen her change her clothes at least 3 times a day, but what do you think she's doing now? Well, you're so far away, you know she's loving your man, and in your own damn bed, you better call for the doctor. Try to investigate your hair, you gotta be wise. Don't advertise your man, don't be a fool. you go sitting around, gossiping, explaining what your good man really can do. If you talk about your baby, you tell me he's so fine, I might just try to make you mine. You got to be wise, keep your mouth shut, don't advertise your man, don't be no fool, don't advertise your in the twilight glow I see her, blue eyes crying in the rain. When we kissed goodbye and parted, I knew we'd never meet again.
Goodbye, darling. Goodbye.
I just can't believe I'll never see you again.
I know, I can't believe it either.
I'll always remember you and your blue eyes.
Kind of like a dying ember, isn't it?
Only memories remain.
Well,
If you're done kissing that man, Donnelly, get off him so I can shoot him. You hear?
Can't you please let him smoke a cigarette before he dies, Daddy?
Okay. One cigarette, but only one.
You want a cigarette?
well, I quit smoking, long ago, but under the circumstances, I guess, sure. Why not?
You want filtered or unfiltered?
Oh, unfiltered. Why not? What the heck?
All right, here.
Thank you. Well, that feels good in your fingers, doesn't it? You got a light?
Here you go.
Wow, that tastes good. Wow.
I should have told you about Daddy, I guess. You know, he told me long ago that if I ever dated a Democrat, he would kill him. You know, I thought he was just trying to scare me, though.
Really? Looks like he's serious. Got an assault weapon there.
You could always switch, you know.
Oh, and become a Republican?
Yeah, a lot of people have.
But I feel strongly about climate change and, income inequality and the Affordable Care Act. And
Did I hear him say Obamacare?
No, I said Affordable Care Act.
Get away from him, Donnelly. I'm gonna shoot him right now. Let's see if his Obamacare covers him being shot by your daddy.
Let him smoke his cigarette, Daddy.
Boy, you feel it's raining.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I'm looking at you for the last time, sweetheart.
I don't know. I think someday we'll meet and walk hand in hand in that land where there's no parting.
Well, I don't believe in that land where there's no parting, darling. I'm sorry, I'm Unitarian. I just believe that whatever heaven there is here on earth, so.
You think this is heaven? Waco, Texas?
Well,
Well, I sure hope you were wrong.
well,
Would you like a little sip of bourbon before you die, darling?
you wouldn't have Chardonnay, would you?
Oh, Daddy won't allow white wine in the house. Liberals drink Chardonnay.
Oh, I see, sure. Okay. I'll have some bourbon then.
All right, I'll be right back.
All right. Sir,
What do you want, communist?
what if I were to tell you that I'm a moderate Republican?
A what type of
A
Republican?
moderate.
Ain't no such thing, mister.
How about libertarian?
Close, but no cigar.
How about a fiscally conservative Democrat?
I ought to shoot you right
All
this
right.
second. How come you come all the way down here to Texas trying to infiltrate my family? You must be really stupid.
Here's your bourbon,
thanks.
sweetheart.
Thank you. Wow. Whoa. That is strong.
Oh, I I just can't believe that this is happening.
I can't believe it either. I mean, I'm from up north, you know. I don't care about football or barbecue or Willie Nelson, and here I am. I'm in love with a Texas girl, so.
Step away from the prisoner, Donnelly. Prepare to lock and load.
Would you do me just one favor, darling? Would you see that this letter gets to my mother, Ivy?
Yeah.
Ivy Waltz. She's in St. Cloud, Minnesota. She's in the phone book, okay?
Sure.
Make sure this note gets to her.
All right.
Did I hear you say something about Ivy, communist?
Yes, sir.
I used to know an Ivy. Ivy Waltz, her name was.
That's my mother, sir.
I thought your blue eyes looked like hers. Well, I'll be. From Minnesota.
Yes, sir.
Well, I can't shoot him, Donnelly. His mama was the first girl I ever loved back when I was a Democrat. Yeah, I never could forget her, but she couldn't take the heat down here and I couldn't take the cold up there, so we parted. But I believe we will walk hand in hand again someday. So, you're free, communist.
So marry me, Donnelly, huh?
I don't think so, darling.
What? But you love me.
I can't. Because what you said about Willie Nelson.
I got nothing against Willie Nelson. I like some of what he...
Yeah. It's his voice you don't like, isn't it? His accent.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's no Tony Bennett, you know.
Well, I'm so sorry. Look at that, it's raining.
It's raining and I'm crying. It's like a song.
And I'm not crying. Hey there, darling.
Oh, how, Willie?
Listen, I want to thank you for standing by me there. I'm 82. Going to be 83 next week. But I've got crazy arms and you got lonely nights, so we'll be okay.
Oh, Willie.
Love is like a dying ember. Only memories remain. Through the ages I'll remember. Blue eyes crying in the rain.
Heather Masse, Mr. Fred Newman, Mr. Tim Russell. I heard a voice speak to me from over here. I heard the voice. Wow. How does it feel? What does it feel like to play that thing? Wow, you just love that, don't you?
Yes.
Dancing around up here, holding that thing way up in the hair. Wow. How long you been playing that, Josh?
About 18, 19 years.
And you're only 22. That's quite a fabulous feat. What you gonna do for us here?
We're going to do a song that I wrote called How Can a Beautiful Woman Be So Ugly?
What?
It's a song I wrote for my ex-wife.
Los Texmaniacs.
She ran off with my best friend, and I miss him. He was my fishing buddy. Just kidding. How can a beautiful woman be so ugly? How can a beautiful woman be so mean? You did the things you did, but you didn't love me. How can a beautiful woman be so ugly? She's like a centerfold, makes your heart wanna go and fall. She's got me staring at my phone all night long, wanting a call. She's got those ruby red lips, soft fingertips, and makes me crawl. Then she ups and leaves with me on my knees, takes my everything, and that's all.
can steal your heart with just a smile. But a cold, cold goodbye is just her style. If I could hold her for a little while, I'll get a beautiful woman and be so ugly. I'll get a beautiful woman and be so mean. You did the things you did 'cause you didn't love me.
Thank you, Max Baca. A song for somebody who hopes you did not hear it. Okay, I found that Latin inscription, which is on the Littlefield fountain over here. Brevis a natura nobis vita data est, et memoria bene reditae vitae sempiterna. Doesn't that make you want to learn Latin and go back? Isn't it gorgeous? Brevis a natura nobis vita data est, et memoria bene reditae vitae sempiterna. And I didn't even grow up Catholic. It means a short life hath been given by nature unto man, but the remembrance of a life laid down in a good cause endureth forever. Not that it's any consolation to whoever laid down, but anyway. This is not about that at all. This is about West Texas.
Yeah, this is about those pump jacks pumping oil all night. Just kind of a love song to a pump jack.
We don't have pump jacks up in Minnesota. We have air pumps. We have car jacks. We have cracker jacks. What is this?
You need to get you some of them, man. Well, we used, when we were kids, we used to get up on them and ride them all night, you know, and until one of our friends was drinking a beer and went to sleep on the pump jack, and a cold front came in, and we had to peel him off of the pump jack.
Wow, you're lucky to have survived this long, Mr. Ely.
You're
not doing this anymore.
I'm very fortunate. I'm not.
This is why a man gets married, is to have somebody who will prevent him from doing these things.
I do things equally in the same realm, but a little more civilized.
Well, let me not get in your way here. Sing us that song.
She swings a cold black hammer and pulls black blood from the ground. She swings a cold black hammer. She wears solid gold in her crown. Night after night, she's relentless. She is a slave driving queen. She swings a cold black hammer. The lines, their pockets with green. She swings a cold black hammer. Her breasts are covered in sweat. She swings a cold black hammer in a place you'll never forget. She swings a cold black hammer at night beneath the moon and the stars. She swings a cold black hammer, lights the rich man's cigar, men come to her armed and ready. Bankers in suspenders and white shirts. She swings a cold black hammer and rolls their bones in the dirt. She swings a cold black hammer. Her breasts are covered in sweat. She swings a cold black hammer in a place you'll never forget.
Mr. Joe Ely, full leg hammer. Hey, we got a few minutes, Mr. Ely here. We got time to do that song if you are still interested. This is one of my favorite Jimmy Rogers songs. And I was so surprised to hear that you do not yodel. Did you grow up believing it was unmanly somehow, or to be in a falsetto range, or what?
Oh, you mean yodeling?
I thought all Texas singers yodeled.
No, that's a myth.
Well, okay, so I'm your stand-in yodeler then, I guess. Huh?
I'm relying on you, Garrison.
All right. Oh yeah, that's Jimmy Rogers.
All around the water tank, waiting for a train. I'm 1,000 miles away from home, sleeping in the rain. I walked up to a brakeman to give him a line to talk. He said, if you've got money, I'll see that you don't walk. I haven't got a nickel, not a penny can I show. He said, get off your railroad bound, and he slammed the boxcar door. He put me off in Texas, a state I dearly love. Wide open spaces all around me, the moon and the stars from Frisco. I'm going back to Dixieland. Though my pocketbook is empty, my heart is full of pain. I'm 1,000 miles away from home, waiting for a train. Yodelay, oh. He put me off in Texas, the state I surely love. Wide open spaces all around me, the moon and stars above. I'm on my way and want me, or to lend me a helping hand. I'm on my way from Frisco. I'm going back to Dixieland. Though my pocketbook is empty, my heart is full of pain. I'm 1,000 miles away from home, waiting for a train. I'm 1,000 miles away from home, waiting for a train.
Audience yodel. Only audience in America that can yodel. We're going to pause now, take a very brief intermission, and then we'll be back with the second half of our show and the news from Lake Wobegon, and Mr. Joe Ely will be back, and Max Baca and Josh Baca, and the Los Texmaniacs as well. You're listening to a Prairie Home Companion, coming to you live from the Bass Concert Hall here on the campus of the University of Texas in Austin, Texas. Welcome back to the second half of our live broadcast, the Prairie Home Companion, coming to you from this beautiful concert hall with this singing and yodeling audience here in Austin, Texas. Want to send out happy 16th birthday wish to Hannah Gartz out there, and Ann Martinez says hello to my mom and dad who think I'm at some rockabilly, psycho, punk rock, neo-gothic, industrial rock show, but that is next week. That is next week, not tonight. To Ida Maldonado, thanks for 35 years of service to KUT 90.5. We love you. Mom and Bob say hello to Aaron and John in Portland. Congratulations on the new house. Glad we're not there to demo the chimney with you. Is that what that says? I guess so. Happy birthday to the twins, Lauren and Sierra, from their dad, recent graduates from the acting schools at NYU and Rutgers University, and aspiring Shakespeareans to be actors or not to be. That is the question. Bobby Burris is here, sends a note to his family of 5 crazy kids and 1 long-suffering wife who demonstrates every day the goodness and mercy and love a family could have. That was well said, Mr. Burris. Hayden is here, sends love to Brintz and Betty. You were married April 1st, 1951. I was born November 30th, 1951. So, April Fools. I get it. Too much for me. Roger Heron is here, Georgetown, Texas, sends his love to his wife, Beth. 31 years of marriage life with you has been a smorgasbord of love. Hello to my husband and son, Kent and Sam. Get burgers for dinner. My sister and I are eating out. Happy anniversary to Denny, 9 years, 3 boys in 3 states. Later, I would still say I do. Hello to Lucy and Liam from ABBA, my sweet grandchildren who are about to experience their first Austin summer. Hello to Nancy, wish you were here, though I hear it's beautiful in Minneapolis today, still wearing purple. I am. Hex, thank you for letting me borrow your boyfriend for the evening. Sighed, your boyfriend's mom. Happy anniversary to Sven and Lena and Bud and Betty and Oli and Marta. Who can believe we all got married today back in 1952 and still have a few good years left. Hello to Lauren at University of Michigan from your dad. Good luck having 3 million precious artifacts to the new buildings, moving them, not having moving them, and try not to break any. And a happy 100th birthday to Annie Roe Buckley, a legendary Texas teacher, from your nephews David and Lynn. And a happy and blessed Passover to all of you out there. The best Seder I ever went to was the one that was conducted by Mr. Richard Dworsky's sister, Shosh, Rabbi Shosh. That was so wonderful. All of those young women at that Passover, and they were leaping in the air. Yes. And you were playing this tune, were you not?
This is probably one of them, yes. This is one of the many Passover songs that have many verses that go on, and you can enjoy it all night.
Take it on as long as you like.
Well, this is Dayenu. It means it would have been enough. God took us out of the desert. He gave us the Torah. Dayenu. 2, 3, 4. Ilu hotziyanu mi Mitzrayim hotziyanu dayenu 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 dayenu. Ilu natan lanu et Torah natan lanu dayenu. Everybody dayenu. Elu natan natan lanu et Shabbat natan lanu dayenu. Dayenu, 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 dayenu.
What does it mean? What are the words?
It would have been sufficient if the Lord had only taken us out of Egypt. That would have been enough. But no, He gave us the Torah, and no, that would have been sufficient. But no, He gave us the Sabbath, and et cetera, for more and more and more.
All right.
That's what you were singing.
There's a land in the West where nature is blessed with a beauty so vast and austere. And though you have flown off to regions unknown, your memories bring you back here, where the teepees were raised in a good hunting place by a creek in a cool, shady draw. And they sat and told stories about former glories, the Comanche and Wichita. Home, home on the plains, here in the grass we will lie, when our day's work is done by the bright summer sun as it sets in the blue prairie sky.
How often at night, when the heavens are bright with the light of the glittering stars, have I stood here amazed and asked as I gazed if their glory exceeds that of ours. When it comes my time to leave you behind and sail off to regions unknown, may they lay my remains out on the plains here in my sweet prairie home. Home, home on the plains, here in the grass we will lie, when our day's work is done by the bright summer sun as it sets in the blue prairie sky.
Mr. Joe Ely going to come out here and do a song for you. I believe that song originally was made from up in where? Up in Kansas. That poem originally, Home, Home on the Range. What you doing, Mr. Kriehn?
I thought we'd do a Guy Clark tune if we had time to do it.
Oh, sure.
If that works.
Oh, sure.
One of my favorite parts about coming to Texas, I was born in Houston, by the way. One of my favorite parts of coming back to Texas, not to garnish any extra clapping, but yes, is the food that's here. So I thought we'd do Guy Clark's, the best tune I know about food. Well, I'm going down to Austin, Texas. I'm going down to save my soul. Get that barbecue and chili. Eat my fill, come back home. I'm gonna take my baby with me. We're gonna have a high old time. We're gonna eat till we get silly. Sure do make a beer taste fine. Oh, my mama, ain't that Texas cooking something? Oh, my mama, stop your belly backbone bumping. Oh, my mama, ain't that Texas cooking good? Oh, my mama, eat it every day if I could. Well, I know a man that cook armadillo tastes so sweet he calls it pie. I know a woman who makes pandusi, it tastes so good it gets you high. Get those enchiladas greasy, Lord, get them steaks chicken fried. Sure do make a man feel happy to see white gravy on the side. Oh, my mama, ain't that Texas cooking something? Oh, my mama, stop your belly backbone bumping. Oh, my mama, ain't that Texas cooking good? Oh, my mama, eat every day if I could. Well, I know a place that's got fried okra, beat anything you ever saw. I know a man who cooked cabrito, and it must be against the law. We're gonna get a big old sausage, a big old plate of ranch-style beans. I could eat the heart of Texas, but I'm gonna need some brand new jeans. Whoa, my mama, ain't that Texas cooking something? Oh, my mama, stop your belly backbone to bone. Oh, my mama, ain't that Texas cooking good? Oh, my mama, eat it every day if I could.
Thank you, Mr. Richard Kriehn. Guy Clark wrote that tune. Let's come in here and talk about Texas as long as we're here. So many people, Europeans particularly, don't get Texas, a state that's bigger than most countries. So why is it there? What purpose does it serve? It's there because man needs a sense of grandeur.
Grandeur! Grandeur!
You don't get a sense of grandeur
Grandeur! Grandeur!
sitting in a cubicle, do you? No, you don't. Listening in a meeting to a bunch of idiots talking about transparency. You don't get that. You get it from climbing on a horse, picking up a rifle, heading for the woods with your dog.
Come on, Blue. Let's go get him. Let's go!
A man gets tired of caution and regimentation. Down deep men are not herdsmen. No, we're not. We're not robots. We wake up in the morning and we hear the pipes, the pipes. The pipes are calling. Down deep Southerners have a lot of Scotsmen in them.
Aye, me brave boys, into the forest to poach the king's gear and poke the king's men in the snoot. In the snoot! And when the king come by, we'll turn our backs and drop our kilts and blow him a kiss, aye?
Face it, it's the truth. Liberals tend to be authoritarian. Yes, they do.
You will not make jokes about people who are unlike you. You will not say mean things about those who are mentally challenged, and you will not write crude things in the margins of books. No, 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 no.
Grandeur.
Grandeur.
It's the alternative to therapy. Therapy is for liberals.
Well, my dad wasn't really there for me. He was kind of emotionally distant, not really a good role model, and that's why I'm so, I don't know, wishy-washy, I think. But how would I know? I mean,
that's a man in therapy. He's pitiful, and he's whiny, and he's vague. Here's a Texas daddy here.
Oh, let me tell you something, men. When you were boys, your mama read you stories about animals with big brown eyes and beautiful eyelashes. And today we're gonna kill one and bring him home on the hood of our car. Anybody got a problem with that? No? Well, good. Let's go.
Men need grandeur.
Grandeur!
To get away from women and their infernal questions.
How come you're so quiet?
I'm just thinking.
Thinking about what?
Stuff.
What stuff?
Different stuff.
Tell me.
It's nothing.
How can you think about nothing?
I do it all the time.
So you go out to the woods with a pickup truck. Take your dogs with you. Take a case of beer. And you drink the beer and you put the bottles on fence posts and you shoot them. And you come home smelling of gunpowder and beer and dogs. And that woman is so happy to see you.
Oh, I was so worried about you. I was afraid you'd get shot or something. You didn't take your cell phone with you.
Right.
Did you miss me?
Yeah,
Oh, I'm so thankful you're okay. I was worried.
I'm fine.
But did you miss me?
Sure.
You did?
Yeah,
You missed me?
sure.
Oh, I love it when you say that.
Mm-hmm.
Say it again.
Okay. Sure.
Oh.
Grandeur! That's what men need. We need bravery, nobility, adventure.
Grandeur!
Texas!
Texas! Texas! Texas! Yeah.
Let's go. Away.
Woo!
Sorry about that. What do we know? We read comic books and, read simple things. We have simple minds up north. You don't mind if we look up to you in that way, do you?
It's up to you.
Mr. Joe Ely.
I ain't looking for trouble. I can't stay here tonight. I got to leave here on the double if I want to see the morning light. Don't need no pistol for the ticket. I got just enough to get us down the line. I don't know what happens next. Your guess is just as good as mine. Move with me, Magdalene. I'm tired of the same old scene. There's a greyhound leaving at midnight. You came with me, it'd be like a dream. Come on, Magdalene. Move with me, Magdalene. I've heard Mexico is easy. I wouldn't stay here if I could. Don't come along just to please me. Let's go while the going's good. Move with me, Magdalene. I'm tired of the same old scene. Let's go down to San Miguel. Let's go be somebody else tonight. Come on, Magdalene. Move with me, Magdalene.
Thank you.
Mr. Joe Ely. Well, it's been a quiet week in Lake Wobegon, Minnesota, my hometown. Out there on the edge of the prairie, suddenly the world has turned, and now there's this great profusion of flowers. We've had warm weather up in the 70s, and the magnolias are blooming, and the daffodils, and the tulips, and the crocuses, and the wild ginger, and all of it, this great profusion of flowers, this extravagance of beauty in our midst. We who were brought up to make do with little, what do we do now when we have way too much? How do we, what do we say? What do we do? We should be dancing in the streets. We should be throwing flowers at each other. We just were not brought up to make a show of ourselves, that's all. So we sit and look at it, and we take deep breaths. We're suspicious of people who go overboard. It's just who we are. We're northern people. Every year, winter makes serious attempts to kill us, and this is not lost on us. So we view with suspicion people that came from us, like the Burger Boy. The Burger Boy played rock and roll tuba. He was one of the best rock and roll electric tuba players anywhere, and he came from, he liked to play tuba in the marching band, and he put flower petals in the horn, and when he blew good and loud, they flew out. It just was extravagant. We tried to look the other way. There he was. His parents were embarrassed. They couldn't believe that he was their real son. Because, you know, it does happen. You have to make love at exactly the right time. God has all the souls in a chute up in heaven. And you have to be there right at the right moment to get the one who's intended for you. And God does have a sense of humor, we know this, and sometimes he likes to mix things up, and so he gives you somebody else's kid. And this seemed to be the case with the Burger Boy. He went away and he joined a band called the Brass Monkeys, and they had some big hits, and they came back to Lake Wobegon to make a video, and they enlisted 800 Wobegonians to put on the red and the white and the blue caps and form a living flag there on Main Street with the tops of their heads, the stars and the stripes they formed. And there were 4 rockets, and these 4 members of the band playing, and the rockets went up with a big whoosh, and they blew flower petals, white flower petals, out of the tails, and there's flower petals everywhere, and everybody was thrilled by this, except moments later when they started to itch themselves. In order to make all these petals white, they had treated them with a chemical which is not supposed to come in contact with the human skin, and nobody had thought about this, and everybody's scratching everywhere, and the more you scratch, the worse it gets, and they never forgave that boy. He just went away. People stayed indoors mostly for the next 2 weeks so that they could scratch with impunity, and he just never came back. He got out of music and he became a school counselor, and he wrote a book called Only You Can Become You, which, whatever that means, we have no idea. No, people who are extravagant draw attention to themselves in Lake Wobegon, and we're very dubious about that. The Dickmeyers, Earl and Ruby Dickmeyer, used to live out on a farm, and there was a big sign at the road going into the farm, and it said, "World's largest pile of burlap bags." We call them gunnies up there, gunny sacks, but burlap bags, and it was, I guess it was. I mean, who keeps track of these things? I don't know. I mean, Earl just hated to throw things away, and so he saved these burlap bags, and he got a pretty good pile out of them, and then other people brought their bags over and added them to it in this big old pole barn that he didn't use, and pretty soon it was 10 feet high, and then he got interested in making it bigger, and it became an obsession, and he grew it, and it got to be 40 feet high, and it was pushing the roof of the pole barn up, and people came to see it. It got its own website, and people came to believe that the weight of this pile of burlap bags created such heat at the base that it was a glowing coal. You could see it at night. It was a glowing bluish coal. And they believed it created a gas called phlogiston, phlogiston. And they believed that this was beneficial for people who had prostate problems. And so there were men, old men who came, and they brought camp chairs, and they would reach a shovel in way in there and get out some charred material, and they'd put it on their camp chair, and they would sit on it. Usually they were dressed, sometimes not, but it was an embarrassment in our town. It was nothing we cared to be known for, and everybody was very thankful when finally the whole thing just caught fire and it burned to pieces. But they already were working, the Dickmeyers, on the world's largest ball of baggies. Where they got this idea, I don't know, but they must have started small, and already they were building it when the burlap bag pile was there, and when they showed it to people, it was 4 feet in diameter, all baggies glued together, and they had collection boxes in public schools for miles around. Recycle your baggies, and kids did, and they went and picked them up every week, and they brought them, and they worked on this thing, and it got bigger and bigger and bigger. And Ruby Dickmeyer said that when the sun struck the ball of baggies, it was like a crystal ball, and there were interesting rays and shapes and shadows in there. And her sister had come, and she had read the future looking at the ball of baggies. And she could not tell anybody what she learned because it would just terrify you if she told you. Well, this is the same sister who saw a vision of the Blessed Virgin many years ago down in the gravel pit. And the Virgin spoke to her. And so pilgrims came, and they made an altar there in the gravel pit, and they put candles on a wheelbarrow and so on. And they were praying and saying the rosary and drew more and more people. And finally the bishop had to put an end to it, and he told her to stop talking about this. And he demanded that she tell him what the Virgin had told her. And she didn't want to, but finally she did. The Virgin had told her, only you can prevent forest fires. So we figure that this world's largest ball of baggies, when it does become the world's largest ball, is going to become a shrine of some kind, and that sister is going to be involved with it, and they're going to put up a sign, and strange people are going to come to town. And that's what happens. That's what happens when you try to be bigger than who you are. No, we don't go for that in our town. We want our children to learn to get along and to mingle with others and to merge and to be good in groups. That's what we want, and not to stand out. It's dangerous to stand out. And don't I know it right now? I mean, here I am. What am I talking about? No, Maureen, the church secretary down at the Lutheran Church, she has had big ideas about being a singer, about being a star. Ever since she was young, she was in every talent show in town, and she sang better than anybody else, and nobody else wanted to sing after her. And people kept telling her how good she was. You're as good as Julie London. You are. You're as good as Peggy King. No, of course you are. Jody James. You're better than she is. No. So she got this idea that she sang You'll Never Walk Alone. That was her big number. When you walk through the night, hold your head up high, through the dark, I should say. Either one. And that was her big number. She really did something with that song. She went off to Concordia College to study music, but of course in a Lutheran college, they don't groom their singers to become big stars. They groom them to blend with other people, and so she did, and she was dissatisfied with that, and she dropped out after a couple of years, and she went off to live in Chicago, where she would have a better chance of being discovered. And she went there to live with her sister and sister's husband, who was in television. And Maureen got some work in Chicago. She worked industrial shows, and she worked supermarket openings, and she opened for other singers in clubs, and she sang at a lot of weddings. She sang at many, many weddings. Always she sang "You'll Never Walk Alone" at weddings. And she waited for her big chance, and she waited for it to come, and it didn't come, and she waited. And then she was shocked when the newspaper called and said they were going to give her a community service award for having sung at more weddings than anybody else. She had sung at 2,000 weddings. She had sung "You'll Never Walk Alone" 2,000 times, and this was a national record. So far as anybody knew, she was horrified. And she left Chicago and she came to Lake Wobegon, and she found this part-time job as a church secretary, part-time, and she works full-time. I mean, everybody knows that. $15,000 a year, and she was so ticked off when Pastor Liz got a raise this last week, and she did not. She, Maureen, who mans the place, you know, and somebody calls and their dad's in the hospital for a colon operation, what do? I mean, you have to go. You have to help. Somebody wants to know where to bring the potato salad, you know, for the picnic. You got to wait and help them out, and people have all sorts of questions, and she's busy all the time. She never gets recognized for what she does. It just grinds her butt, the way she is taken for granted. She was at this baptism the other Sunday morning before the church service, and they were baptizing this little boy whose name was Wally, spelled W-A-L-L-Y-E. Can you baptize a child whose name is misspelled? She was wondering about that, but wasn't her place to say anything. The child screamed nonstop from beginning and protesting, and there she was, and then came the church service. She's expected to attend. She's not paid for that, but she's there, and she sits up in the choir balcony. Pastor Liz was preaching, and she was preaching on the book of Job, and she was preaching about Job, who was plagued and suffering boils, and his family had died, and he was in great distress, and his friends came and visited him, Zophar and Bildad and the other guy, what was his name, Eliphaz, and they came to comfort him with their theology, and they were so smug that God could not bear to listen to their smug answers to Job's honest grief. Pastor Liz said that God would rather honest skepticism, honest disbelief to easy piety. God is not worshipped in platitudes. We don't need to find answers. We just need to find God, that's all. And she paused, amen, and she paused to let this sink in. And Tibby Markland, the organist up in the loft, thought this was the end of the sermon. And she had been working on a crossword puzzle, and she panicked, and she dropped her pencil, and she reached down to get it, and she lost her balance, and she stepped on a pedal, and it sounded like a hippopotamus snoring, and 3 of the altos laughed out loud, those horrible whinnying laughs that you laugh when you're under a lot of pressure not to. And Maureen got the hiccups, and they were big hiccups, and it sounded like somebody dropping a fork on the floor. And she got up in her high heels with the cleats, and she walked the length of the choir loft, click, 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 and everybody could hear it all through the church. She walked, click, 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 down the stairs and out the door into the entry hall, click, 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 click. And as she walked, she could hear that song. It was the tempo of her big number. She could hear it all around her. Walk on through the wind, walk on through the rain, though your dreams be tossed and blown. Everybody, walk on with hope in your heart, and you'll never walk alone. You'll never walk alone. She walked alone all around the block. She walked into the Chatterbox Cafe. She thought, I'm going to go back to Chicago. I'm going to go back there. I'm going to make a video. I'm going to make a video walking down Michigan Avenue. My brother-in-law is going to do it. I'm going to be walking down Michigan Avenue and singing You'll Never Walk Alone, and people will fall in behind me. And I'll walk into the woods towards this flowering tree, and the wind is blowing in my face, and it's blowing flower blossoms all over me. It'll be so beautiful. That's the news from Lake Wobegon, where all the women are strong, all the men are good looking, all the children are above average.
Te quiero porque te quiero, te adoro con gran pasión, te adoro con gran ternura. Herido dejaste el corazón, me dejaste mujer traicionera, encontraste un nuevo querer, olvidaste mi amor del bueno, rompiste un sueño de dos. Recuerdo las noches hermosas cuando me entregaste tu amor, me dejaste un hueco en el alma, herido de un gran dolor. Recuerdo las noches hermosas cuando me entregaste tu amor, me dejaste un hueco en el alma, herido de un gran dolor. Corazón, te quiero porque te quiero, te adoro con gran pasión, te adoro con gran ternura. Herido dejaste el corazón, me dejaste mujer traicionera, encontraste un nuevo querer, olvidaste mi amor del bueno, rompiste un sueño de dos. Recuerdo las noches hermosas cuando me entregaste tu amor, me dejaste un hueco en el alma, herido de un gran dolor. Recuerdo las noches hermosas cuando me entregaste tu amor, me dejaste un hueco en el alma, herido de un gran dolor. Recuerdo las noches hermosas cuando me entregaste tu amor. Me dejaste un hueco en el alma, herido de un gran dolor. Recuerdo las noches hermosas cuando me entregaste tu amor. Me dejaste un hueco en el alma, herido de un gran dolor.
Lorenzo Martinez. Lorenzo. Wonderful music tonight. Austin, Texas, how could it not be? Mr. Joe Ely, such a pleasure listening to you. You just get better and better. You are one of my favorite singers all time.
Traveled them all down at the border by the one-sided wall, down at the border facing that wall, racking my brain for the cause of it all. No one to talk to and no one to blame. I can't be the only one stuck in this game. Borderless love, the land of the free. Borderless love, how far can you see? Borderless love, there's no border at all in a borderless love. There's no need for a wall. When I feel what I feel, I see what I see. Why do my head and my heart disagree? A one-sided wall, is it all in the mind? And who can see more than one side at a time? A wall is a mirror that can only reveal one side of a story that passes for real. But take it all down, it all becomes clear. It's the fearless who love and the loveless who fear. Borderless love, land of the free. Borderless love, how far can you see? Borderless love, there's no border at all in a borderless love. There's no need for a wall. Over, under, around and through. Life is love and love is true. Over, under, around and through. Walls of thunder, skies of blue. 1, 2, 3. Borderless love. Borderless love. Borderless love. Borderless love. Thank you, John.
That's Joe Ely. Bobby Dresel playing the guitar there. Oh, we've had a great time here with you in Austin, Texas. We want to thank KUT Public Radio for bringing us here tonight. Our producer and technical director is Mr. Sam Hudson over there. Our director is Dan Rolls. The show is written by Sarah Bellum and Kate Sidley, and our broadcast transmission engineer, Thomas Scheutzker. Our stage managers, Albert Webster and Ken Evans. Lighting designer is Janice Kaiser. House sound engineer out in the house, Mr. Todd Behrens. Applause for Todd Behrens there. Good sound tonight. Our music librarians, Matty Calhoun and Catherine Slesher. Our production assistant is Stephen Rice. Researchers, Olivia Pelham and Holly Harden. Our web and video guy is Ben Miller. Our truck driver, Russ Ringsack. Going to take us on down the road to Galveston for next week. Our tour wrangler is Deborah Beck. Our music director here at the piano, Mr. Richard Dworsky, leading us in a song for Passover. Mr. Chris Siebold played that great guitar solo in honor of Prince tonight. Richard Kriehn sang the song about food, of course. Larry Kohut back there on the bass and Bernie Dresel. Our radio acting company tonight, Tim Russell, our sound effects man, Fred Newman, and a good friend here from Austin sitting in for Sue Scott tonight, Margaret Ann Hoard, did a great job. Thank you, Margaret Ann. Sue, get well. We'll see you next week. Heather Masse here tonight, Joe Ely with Robbie Jerso, and this beautiful band, Max Baca and Los Texmaniacs. Joshua Baca, Noel Hernandez, Fernand Martinez, Joshua Martinez, Lorenzo Martinez, and Daniel Martinez as well. You've been a sweet, sweet audience. Thank you so much for coming tonight.
There's no stronger wind than the one that blows down a lonesome railroad line. No prettier sight than looking back on a town you left behind. There's nothing that's as real as the love that's in my mind. Close your eyes, I'll be here in the morning. Close your eyes, I'll be here for a while. Well, there's lots of things along the road I'd surely like to see. I'd like to lean into the wind and tell myself I'm free. But your softest whisper's louder than the highway's call to me. Close your eyes, I'll be here in the morning. Close your eyes, I'll be here for a while. All the mountains and the rivers and the valleys can't compare to your blue-lit dancing eyes and your yellow shining hair. I could never hit the open road and leave you lying there. Close your eyes, I'll be here in the morning. Close your eyes, I'll be here for a while.
Mr. Townes Van Zandt wrote this song.
Close your crying eyes. I'll be lying here beside you when the sun comes on the rise. I'll stay as long as the cuckoo wails and the lonesome blue jays growl. Close your eyes, I'll be here in the morning. Close your eyes, I'll be here for a while. Well, close your eyes, I'll be here in the morning. Close your eyes, I'll be here for a
Good night from Austin, Texas. The Texmaniacs. This is Joe Ely. Good night, everybody. Good night.